So there's a lot of things that go on in this world that credit isn't given where credit is due. It's called motherfuckers eat off of hip-hop that are rappers. Rap comes from the word rape. They're raping hip-hop. Just the same way Elvis Presley just hijacked blues. Yeah, this fucking white dude had anything to be blue about. Now, what happens, this is why you find in original hip-hop, there's always a shout-out. There's always a what up to whoever the teachers were, whoever the bringers of the knowledge were. Nobody ever slept on their teachers. Nobody ever said, oh, I came out with this, just stealing style, stealing. And this is what culture is these days. Is a bunch of people that eat off other people's work. Like people that put real work in. People out here just like feeding their fucking faces off of what other people brought as real truth. If your father or mother designed the bicycle and you've been riding around for years, $1 million in your pocket, riding around on a bicycle, then all of a sudden you find yourself with enough money to buy a car. Because cars just got invented. And you buy yourself a really nice hot rod. And you driving around the street down like an asshole. Driving that car. And there's a bike going on the lane and you beep at that bike and flick that person riding the bike off, and you don't pay homage, you don't pay respect to the person on the bicycle that's actually literally put in the work. Really, legitimately is giving homage to your parents. That's what happens. That's what culture is. It's a bunch of little kids driving around Ferraris, not at all giving credit where credit is due. But when you're old, what you realize is like, yo, Immortal Technique has been out here for years. Like, he's true shit. He's true knowledge. You find anybody that has any true knowledge, they're in the mainstream. Why? Because mainstream is all lamestream. It's all about making cash and currency, and it ain't about saying any real shit. It ain't about, not really about anything. But their style, their little bit of leverage they have in the system is always due to some people that had to put work in. So you find these people out here in all of the communities. I don't care if it's flat earth, the conscious community, whatever it is. You know, and it isn't even saying like, you know, it's not to say you can't jump levels, because certainly people can jump levels, but you jump levels because you earned and gained respect, and you gave respect, and you got out of the system what you put into it. And there's a really interesting fascination, like in for at least me, within the martial arts, and you get the word martial and martial law into martial something, and Marshall Mathers. What do these words mean? And to think about martial arts in the sense that the teacher never shows you all of the tricks. You know, it's really weird out here. You know, when we get really into this, the hip hop culture, the Native Americans, the Aboriginals, the originals, we can get into we can play this game a lot of ways when it comes to the historicity, the interest of how people became conscious and aware of anything. Now, I've spoken at length about becoming a self-referential system to build off of yourself. But realize that you don't get born unless your parents make you. You don't get born unless a God creates you. Like, and to think that you just did it all on your own, you somehow got it, like these. I mean, this goes through the whole thing. Like all knowledge is given. These people out here like just eating off other people's hard work, and they don't give any credence or any like. But you know what? It's funny and it's cute. And it's interesting. They always say the meek shall inherit the earth. I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to inherit shit. I don't want this earth. I don't know. Keep your earth. Keep your keep your model of you know, a bunch of densities. I don't want to go too far with that, but let's just stick here on subject matter of where knowledge comes from. Now, God created the system in the sense that if there is a grand architect, and he did create the devil, and the devil is the infinite plane that we live on, to think that you weren't instructed by devil forces or demonic forces will be just as... You know, you walking down the street and you see a street not to go down because it says do not enter, and there's a bunch of people with, you know, sawed off shotties and like, you know, don't walk down there. That just instructed you, gave you information. You think that's, you know, that you think it's where you should have went? No, you got a lesson. You learned something. There's a piece of information. Look up, see what the name of the street is, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of things you can learn a lot of different ways, but to think that somehow you could be a self-referential system when you don't have self to begin with, because you don't even know what your self is made of, because people come out here, speak some whack-ass hit, like rap music, some fake-ass jazz, like white people playing the blues. White people ain't got blues to be sitting about. They done stole all the shit. Like, I mean... It's very funny to me being adopted and, you know, having kind of curly hair and my eyes are dark and I get a real good tan, and I wonder what my nativity is, what the nativity scene looked like, this Jesus-looking fellow. But Jesus never looked like that, because if he actually did exist, which he didn't, he wouldn't have been looking white. And then so many things that go into culture. It's not ethnicity and it's not race. We're talking about knowledge, because knowledge trumps all that shit. Self-knowledge. And people say self-knowledge, you know, you go look at, if you're a year old and you look in the mirror forever, you're going to stay a year old. Now you talk about self-knowledge, you go out into culture, you walk around, you look at things, you see things, you engage yourself with the world, you become more fulfilled, you become part of the system, the larger system, and you gain wisdom. And people think they really are just like, oh, we could just... Hey, here's what you'll do if you have a bunch of dirt and a seed for a pumpkin. You'll stick it inside of a little glass jar, and that pumpkin will grow, and it will, you know, put a little water in there, and that will grow. But that's all that will grow. And you could close that pumpkin off. Close the whole thing off. Have fun with that. Live there forever. Self-substantiating, absolutely. But the word self-substantiating doesn't mean to do it isolated, without a larger system it means that you govern yourself the same way a car does going down the street. It's self-referential to how it drives, but it still interacts with the entire system that's going on. And to think that you could just somehow like, oh, you just made that. No, you didn't make that car. That car came from all the things that you find yourself like not having respect for. Meaning the satanic underworld. The things that tell you what the fuck is going on here. We'll just leave it here. We'll go on this a little later. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Stay well.